Well, hello there, you two, and welcome to August 10th. 64 degrees out here. It's supposed to be 30 or 40% chance of rain today. That'll make the grass and everything wake back up again. Old Kai out there doing her little, I don't know why she's always over here in the mornings. She always has been for many, many years. But yeah, very peaceful so far as it is, and the little breeze, I love that. I came out earlier this morning and checked and topped off fluids and stuff on the old war wagon. I was pushing her a little bit there. That it's got a bit of an exhaust leak, and it throws a catalytic converter code because it's not getting the correct reading because she's getting a little extra air. Anyway, welcome to Hump Day. Despite the threat of rain, there was no rain.
No, there's sprinkles this morning at home.
Yeah, I seen everything looked like it was damp at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mama,
yes, sir.
We have reached the old proverbial hump day.
We have it that.
Anyway, have yourself a wonderful Wednesday.
You too.
And I'll see you as the day goes on.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right, love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye now.
Bye.
Come pulling into the parking lot this morning. I see this old ghost sitting out there in the parking lot towards the front of the store. Any of you guys that are just starting out, watch these videos that are inspiring to be a motorcycle technician, just let me forewarn you, when you get older, you get pushed the old stuff that nobody wants to mess with. And this thing, it's got fairly low miles. All the things that's going to happen to this thing, they don't even know yet. But yeah, it's old enough. It's got the original tires on it, believe it or not. So yeah, the tires are 12 years old. The date code on them is 2010, all three, all the way around. Complaining of belt noise, which these old belts were common for that. There was a special thing you put on them, but it doesn't help that it's grotesquely out of alignment. Rear brake pads, how it's not metal to metal yet, I don't know. Fronts are, I don't know, they're down a bit. Enough that when you have the wheels off, because the tires are at the 50% mark and they're 12 years old, when you have that off, pop the calipers off and put some pads up front. I was complaining of shifting weird. I think it stated it happened on the way here, so it was already warm. I let it run until the fan cycled a couple times, got it in here. Oil so low that the HCM is starving for oil. You gotta check the oil on these things all the time, on purpose. Not that there's anything wrong with it, on purpose, by design. It's an old Honda trick that the patent ran out in 08, and everybody was jumping on that thing because it worked so well. But there's a catch. And for these 990s, they can burn up to a half a quart every 1,200 miles. I've seen them burn a half a quart in 1,000 miles, maybe even less. Very few of them go better than that. They either burn that half a quart every 1,200 miles or more. So you gotta check your oil all the time. When these things get low, the pickup for the HCM, the hydraulic control module, all the shifting is controlled hydraulically. I mean, there's servos that tell it when to do it, but it's physically done hydraulically. Has its own oil pump riding in that. Maybe I can show you when I get this thing farther apart when I'm doing the oil change. But it has its own oil pump, and the pickup for that pump is higher than the regular motor stuff. So you could never run one of these things completely out of oil because it would literally stop shifting before the oil got low enough that it would ever hurt the bike. Oh, there's something I was going to tell you, and it was something with yesterday I wasn't... when I had John's Spyder, his 21 RT Limited, in the air and I was checking the tire, see how close the rear wheel is to the ramp? It doesn't have to roll very... Point the camera. It doesn't have to roll very far before... Boom, as soon as that back wheel hits that ramp, you're not going to stop it. because the weight of that thing's going to roll. Well, I didn't explain myself. While it was idling, and I was waiting for the fans to cycle so I can do my initial oil level check, the thing's in the air, and the module, the failed module, while it's sitting there idling and while I'm checking the oil, it decided to fail. And when it failed, the windshield goes down and the park brake releases. So that's why suddenly the park brake was off. You know, I told you, I said, I know it was the park brake was on. Well, I didn't explain that when it went into failed mode, it lets go of the park brake, and if the shield's up, which we were playing with the shields, I had the thing in the air, so I hear the shield coming down. I'm thinking, that's really weird, that shield just took off. Well, I wasn't thinking about the shield because the bike started rolling. My hand was inside that sprocket going to that Schrader valve. Just think if it did roll and get my hand out fast enough. So, yeah, I kind of exaggerated how crazy that was. And, yeah, it was really crazy. Never seen anything like that. This is definitely going to get called back by BRP. Because I've never seen any kind of TSD or anything about this thing failing. So, yeah, they want to study that. That'll spark some interest. The boys at BRP. All right, let me get to her here. All right, so we're going to take a fairly quick ride on this because it's got a bald rear tire and virtually no rear brakes. Oh, I hate when you have to wait for these things. Come on. Yeah, that oil was crazy low in this thing. You know, I checked it and it was low. Oh, park brake light was a little slow to turn off. But man, once I got it in the pans, I'm like, whoa. Yeah, these older, as I explained, the HCM and these old gals have their own. Oh, you know, I never showed you all that. Well, I probably got 100 other videos where I've shown you working on these things. But anyway, yeah, that was pretty crazy how low that oil was in this thing. But you know what happens, I kind of rattle this old cage around quite a bit, but people find these things at a good deal, and I promise you, if it sounds too good to be true, that's what you get. So, I mean, other than some maintenance stuff, I don't really see anything wrong with it. The only code was like 200 and something hours ago. It threw a shift angle sensor, but you know that can happen, you know, with a low battery or some weird anomaly of some sort. That wasn't related to the low oil. The shift angle sensor is an actual switch that can tell what gear the thing's in. Yeah, you can get really lucky with these things, but I'd say you have a better chance of getting unlucky. That's why I advise it's just best to stay away. Wait till you can afford to buy one of the 1330s. And the newer the better. Just put yourself in debt if you can't cash out on it and buy a new one. That way you are the one that breaks it in. You're the one that takes care of it. You know everything's been done right. And please, if you don't have a clue, don't try to cheap out by doing your own services and stuff if you can't figure these things out. I mean, the 1330s are probably better than any of them if you're going to be a noob and try to work on one. But yeah, just get that shop manual if you're going to lay a hand on one of these things. And the manuals, you know, I gotta tell you, can be a little, and I don't know why, but the new ones, they can be a a little less than informative at times. It's just it's good to know what you know already, you know. And like a lot of you guys, you just take it to the dealership. The services aren't crazy on these things. Well, they're way more expensive on these, and they're way more often, like half the amount of time. It's just more to them. I mean, everything's just more complicated, and if you don't follow all the rules, you know, it'll come back and bite you. You gotta remember, you're long since out of any hope for any kind of warranty. I'm trying to be as easy as I can on this brakes in case this guy just says, nope, I'm taking it home. Come on, young lady, get them pedals pedaling. Do not be afraid to gas it. Yeah, this one runs good. Not doing anything wrong. Like I say, there's some old code that occurred once. Who knows how long that many hours ago was, you know? Depends on how often. But these old ones, I think when the key was on, they'd count. So if you a knucklehead and leave the key on for some reason, it's just going to start racking up some time. What do we got there? Is that a busted mirror? It almost looks like it was a picture behind it. She's broke now, though. These old brakes, man, they're just noisy. Oh, yeah, you gotta do the double tap with the old ones. The new ones just click and they just automatically go from reverse to first. Let's do a quick walk around here so you guys can see it in the light instead of that stuffy old shop. But yeah, you can see that rear tire is gonzo. She's well into the wear bars. And these, it's kind of weird, they wear different as they go along. The belt's not terribly out of alignment, but it's too loose, and it needs a tire on there, and needs obviously the brake pad, so we'll just do all that in one shot. As typical aftermarket LEDs are not working on the right side. Please stay away from that junk. It's your motorcycle. It's not a parade float. And no, that doesn't make people see you. You're fooling yourself. It's all you. You just need to know they're never going to see you, and you'll be okay. Doesn't matter what you do. When you get too many lights on there, you actually turn yourself into a sight fixation target. Must live somewhere dusty, because that puppy's got some dust on her, doesn't she? Off we go into the wild. First I thought his ACS pump wasn't working, because she was all squatted, and I'm like, man, I don't remember that thing, you know, lifting itself up when I rode it up to the bench. But did the test and stuff on it. It's working. It's pumping air. I wonder where he's got his... Oh, yeah. That's why it's not working. See when it says, see that little orange thing that says manual? It's lost its setting. It's just holding air that I did when I manually lifted it. So the ACS needs to be reset. There's a high and low limit. You set them at and let them roll. Bounce, bounce. Yeah, the little cracks in the speed bumps. They're really tricky to sneak through that little crack with a Spyder. Alright, this is where we're going to end this one. The ride portion anyway. So thanks for coming along on a 2011 Spyder RTS. And yes, I checked his dash screws, and oddly enough, every one of them were snug. None of them need to be tightened. Always check those things with a T25 Torx, because you'll lose them in a heartbeat. Okay, so I've talked about this a whole bunch, but apparently you guys still don't know. I don't know how you're watching YouTube and you haven't figured this out. when I say look at the comments. Everything's in the comments. So if you look, well, this is actually the sea to sky thing in Canada, but on your computer, if you look at more, down here, I put a whole bunch of information in my videos. And then today's video on this channel is the link to the 2 Canadian rides. If you're on a mobile device, instead of a more button, right here by the title, see that little button right there? You click on that and voila. Oh, you gotta hit more one more time. But look, right there. TheSmoaksVlogs. Where is that at? Oh, because I'm thinking I'm on my daily vlog thing. But anyway, same thing. There's always a description. Then I have people go, well, I watch on my TV, so I don't see that. Well, if you're watching on your TV, you're not commenting. If you can comment on your TV, you can see the description on your TV. So please, take a peek at that. You'll see where I put stuff in there. 90% of the questions I get asked can be answered right there in the description. The link to these 2 videos on my ShawnSmoak channel is right there. And if you get confused, open up YouTube, go get in there. Come on now. Just type in ShawnSmoak. You can do this on Google, wherever you want to do it, and watch what happens. There's my main channel. There's those 2 videos. First thing that pops up. And there's the daily vlog that you're watching right now. It's right there. This is my ShawnSmoak channel. And you'll see videos if you click the link. It starts on the newest, oldest, and it goes backwards. Never forget to look at the description. Well, hello there, YouTube. Almighty. Well, thank you guys for all the wonderful comments so far on the 2 ride videos on the other channel. Just type in ShawnSmoak. or follow the links. But anyway, I apologize. Initially, I had the comments off because I put it in a different mode so that I could easily share it with the Can-Am folks. And I don't want anybody to accidentally leave a comment, because if they do, in the mode I had it in, the video could become discoverable. So I had them turned off, and I forgot
to turn them back on.
For hours. I forgot. So all you guys that tried to leave a comment on those and didn't come back, I apologize. Please come back, leave a comment. But anyway, another Spyder-esque day. Weird stuff with a BMW. I'll talk about that at some point, but I wasn't working on it. It's one of the other techs, but yeah, crazy. But yeah, finally got those videos released. I feel good about that. I feel like I've been sitting on them things forever.
I know.
It has been forever, it seems like.
It does. It feels like a long time.
Yeah, that was in May.
Yeah.
Wow. Crazy. Anyway, I think we're going to roll out on that.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Thursday or Friday.
Heck yeah. All right. We'll see you in the morning.
See you then.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.